Well, student. Let's see. So before we start checking what we have, let me share my screen. Um, I don't know how to do this. There's one student trying to come in, but what can I do? So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
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 So, well, in a moment, you can go to the Google Classroom and find this file. This is just to tell you something. Some of you got a message from me indicating that you should rewrite your homework, okay? Because you exceeded tremendously the number of words that you were expected to write. Remember that, as I said in my welcome message, I suffer from migraine. So, in case you want to know, at 5, I usually had a writing course that I had to give up because I cannot check so many things online. It's too tiring. It's a factor that triggers my migraine. So I cannot check so many things. So when I ask you to write a maximum of 60 words, it's because this is what I estimate is what I can check. It's not a caprice, it's not just to bother you. So if you observe here my file, this is a file in Word, you see that here you see my cursor, you have the number of words. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can clearly see. So some of you copy the instructions or something like that. Okay, so in that case, what you can do is select. Look, here we have 128 words, I guess. So if I check just this file, I get the number 59 words or something like that. Okay? So I can exactly know how many words I have written. By the way, this is what I call a 3 centimeter margin. You see, 1, 2, 3 centimeter margin on both sides. so that I have time, space for my notes. And I really need double space, not 1.5. Look at the difference between 1.5 and double space. I am very familiar, I am very acquainted with, so I can recognize when something is written in 1.5 or 2 or single space. So please use double space so that I can have the chance to insert my comments. I need space in the margins. I need space between lines to insert my comments. My comments, as you know, are sometimes I read long words, but sometimes I use in the Google Classroom. It's a file called proofreading symbols. Well, so please, when I say write something between 50 and 60 words, I really mean it. Because otherwise, as it happened this time, I have to give you back your homework to ask you to rewrite it. And then, for example, now I haven't checked all those assignments that arrived late and that some of you had to rewrite. I have checked all the others as I had calculated. I have the time to do it, but it would be better if you follow the instructions. And then also I would like you to pay attention to the instructions about the names of the files. I give examples in the instructions. For example, Susana Sierra apostrophe S and then the name of the homework. So I please beg you to follow the instructions to name the files. Otherwise, I have to spend time renaming your files. And all the time that I spent in front of the screen is bad for my migraine. So I want to use my energy and my effort for correcting the substantial things, not changing the names of the files because you didn't follow instructions. Please, please do me that favor. Well, so before we check the assignment, I would like us to go to the chart and the exercise that we were doing at the end of last class so that we can finish or classifying the connectors so that I can give some explanations about the grammar and the punctuation that each of these connectors requires. And so that later we can see these two passages that I took from your assignments. So let me join the meeting in my other device. So,
Prepositions.
Prepositions. So all of them are prepositions. So we have after, in spite of, apart from, and instead of. Have we classified those in the chart? No.
Okay.
No, let's see. Hmm. Okay. Where is my note? So, as far as I can see, we have already classified apart from, despite, instead of, and during. So what was the other? After. So these three are already in the chart?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Instead of, apart from, instead of. And we need to see.
It's a preposition and it's a time or sequence.
So we have apart from, despite, instead of. So what we need is after here. Oops. After. The word after in reality is going to have clones. It also exists as adverb, and it is also a subordinating conjunction of time. So the three possibilities exist. Well,
And it's missing in spite of, no?
in spite of, let's see. Thank you. In spite of. Oh, yes, we have despite, but we don't have in spite of. Observe that the combinations are one word or three words. The combination with two words doesn't exist. Despite of doesn't exist, okay?
Okay.
Because it's a very classical confusion. Then,
And
in number 7, oops. Oh,
it's on or but or so.
yes, something happened with my connection, sorry. Apparently, there is some kind of disturbance in the connection. Hold on. 10, 28. 28. Here I am again. Okay, hold on a second. So I'm going to stop the video because when I have the video, that's too much for my connection. So we will be sharing the screen. So what was your observation? Did you have any comment? So we have already classified after, in spite of, apart from, and instead of. So in number 7, we have already said that it's and all of them are already in the chart, right or not?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in number 8, we have though, because, before, and when. We already have some of these in the chart, right? Because we have already seen because, and we have seen when. So we know that all of these are subordinating conjunctions. And before is already, sorry, because is already in the chart and when is already in the chart. So let's classify though and before. So
Teacher, can I record the class?
the class, okay, hold on, let me stop because I need your clearance. And who is asking for permission?
Abigail.
Abigail, okay, let me give you the authorization. Okay? Yep.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. So let me try that again. So we were going to classify before. Obviously, it's in the same category as after. Before, oops.
Yes, yes.
Before. And the other was though, which is like the contraction of this one. As when you say until, they are the same. So the other because and when are already there. Okay? So far, so good?
Yes.
Yep, okay. So let's continue. Number 8. We recognize here this word, which is already in the chart or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So automatically we know that all of these are conjunctive adverbs. So, in what category would you include to?
Addition.
Addition, good. We know, nevertheless, it's contrast. After, we already know is?
Time.
Time or sequence. And what about those?
Effect.
Sorry? Effect. Yeah.
Effect.
Is the elegant version of so. So effect or concept. So we have to classify to and does because I already included after. So let's go. So we need conjunctive adverbs. I had already included after. So we need to include does and to. Nevertheless, it's already there. Okay?
Yes.
Clear? Well. And finally, number 10. At some level, we'll hear that, yet, blah, blah, blah. So we know these little words. What is the name of these little words?
Coordinating conjunctions.
Conjunction.
Coordinating conjunctions. Or if you want to use the acronym to remember, they are called fanboys. Oh, I don't have space.
Fun boys.
Yes, because these are the initial letters of all the connectors. So you have for, and, nor, but, for, yet, and so. So these are the fanboys. Mhm.
Oh.
It's an easy way to remember the 7 words because this family only has these 7 little words. Okay,
Okay.
the fanboys.
Thanks.
So we already have classified so, and I'm not sure what we have classified for and yet. Have we classified it? Or
Yes. Yes.
Only
we
yet.
classified. Yes.
only
we
yet?
classified.
Only-
No, but and yet. But and yet, but because was in coordinated conjunction in confront and concession.
Contrast and concession. Mhm. So yet is already there. And so the new one is for.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me give you an example so that you understand. Well, I'm going to erase this little thing about the fanboys to have some space. Going to use comma here to make it very visible. These are just some examples. I don't have space for all of that. In a moment, we are going to see the full thing. So, what do you think you need to complete the first sentence? What word? Oops, I got
Because.
Because yes.
Mhm. What word do you think you need in number 3?
So,
In number 3?
Of,
Sorry, can you repeat your answer?
but I went to the doctor, but I felt sick.
O sea que ustedes están contestando lo que ustedes quieren. Yo dije la número 3. O sea, luego porque tienen problemas con sus novios y sus mamás. Yo pedí la número 3.
Sí.
Oh, I'm sorry.
therefore,
Therefore, ok. Ya nos vamos entendiendo. Therefore. What about number 4? What can I use here?
Because.
Because although in initial position it's more natural to use since.
Okay.
Okay, let me write number 5. What do you think we need in number 5?
So,
So, so what do we need in number 2?
so
Sorry.
is it possible so too?
O sea, las causas y los efectos son los mismos.
Then,
I went, no, I went
Están
to the
un
doctor.
poquito
No, I felt
raros,
sick,
¿no?
so I
Un
went to the
poquito
doctor.
raro.
Doctor.
Okay. So observe that the order of the cause and the effect is like in number 1.
Yes,
But the big difference is that we have a comma. Y
yes,
yo estoy tratando de explicar esta. O sea, aquí va por.
yes. What's for?
¿Ok?
Thank you.
Ahora, si me hacen el favor de traducirlas, ¿qué dice la número 1 en español?
Fui al doctor porque me enfermé.
Me sentía.
Ya, no me
Bien.
sentía.
Me sentía enferma.
Mal. Ajá, bueno, enfermo.
Fui al doctor porque me sentía enferma. La número 3.
Me sentí enfermo, por lo tanto fui al doctor.
Ok. La 4.
Dado que me sentí enfermo, fui al doctor.
Ok. Dado o puesto que me sentía enfermo, fui al doctor. La 5.
Me sentí enfermo.
No.
Me sentí enfermo. ¿Y qué?
Por eso fui al doctor.
Mm,
Entonces fui al doctor.
Ay, canijos. Entonces es then, ¿no?
Ah, bueno, entonces todo.
Así que,
Así que, muy bien. Así que. O sea, nótese que este solito es así que. Y este, que parece así que, no es así que. ¿eh? O sea, no confundir. Ajá. Este parece así que, pero este no es así que. Ese quiere decir para. Se los presento. Bueno, ¿y qué quiere decir la número 2 en español? No queda, ¿verdad? A ver,
Me
les voy
sentí
a dar...
enfermo, fui al doctor.
¿Fue al doctor ya que me sentí enfermo?
no,
¿Debido a
exacto,
qué?
sería como because, ¿perdón?
Debido a que me sentí enfermo.
No, esa sería la 4, ¿no? O sea, por eso es tan importante y por eso doy tanta lata con la entonación. Fíjense que aquí la entonación va para abajo, hay una coma, y luego otra vez va para abajo. Aquí no, aquí la entonación va para arriba y luego va para abajo, y así. Aquí va para abajo y luego va para abajo. O sea, la entonación y la puntuación están emparentadas. Bueno, les voy a ayudar. ¿Cuál es la palabra con la que nos asocian a todos los mexicanos en Sudamérica cuando nos quieren imitar? ¿Qué palabra decimos a todo el rato, toda hora?
Pues.
Exacto, luego le diste, ¿verdad? Es el famoso pues, eso es pues.
Así pues.
Fui al doctor, pues me sentí enfermo. Es el pues, se los presento.
En la número 2.
Pues. Coma for. Esta coma, la coma hizo que esto cambiara de significado, la coma lo transforma en pues. O sea, la puntuación y la entonación van a ser decisivas, ¿ok? So, for that reason, where should I include for?
Cause.
Cause and effect.
Oh, no. Effect is here. Effect is for.
Oh.
And the cause is, the effect is so and the cause is for. No confundir causas con efectos.
Okay.
Si soy un abogado, es importantísimo distinguir la causa y el efecto. Si soy un doctor, igual, ¿no? O sea, en general es muy importante distinguirlos. So, for is equivalent of because, but with a comma. So, clear? So far, so good?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can use my board. Let's see if everything works. So, coordinating conjunctions. So we have so far seen three families, but three families with two different types of members. So we have the fanboys, the coordinating conjunctions. Can you see there? Yeah. Coordinating conjunctions or fanboys. Where we see the structure like this, sentence one, can you see that? Yes. Comma, the coordinating conjunction, and then sentence two. Like in the examples I was giving you, like I was tired, comma, so I went to bed. This construction is similar, but not so elegant, not so formal as the conjunctive adverbs. The structure is going to be similar in the sense that you have one sentence and you have another sentence here. But now, what punctuation did we observe with these elegant words? You remember? Instead of the comma, what do we have here?
Semicolon.
Semicolon. A semicolon.
Semicolon, yeah.
Then the conjunctive adverb, a conjunctive adverb, and then a comma. So we need these things. So for example, I was tired. Therefore, comma, I went to bed. So these two families are grammatically different. These are conjunctions, these are adverbs. These are not so elegant. They don't require elegant punctuation. These are very formal and they require formal or elegant punctuation. But the structure is similar, sentence one, sentence connector, and sentence two. And in terms of intonation, the intonation goes down because this is one sentence and then I have a second sentence. That is why I insist so much on the intonation, because the intonation is going to help you to decide. Sometimes you are not so sure about the punctuation, but your intonation should help you. Well, now we have the other two families. we have the subordinating conjunctions and the prepositions. And here we are going to have a different structure. What we have is only one sentence. We have only one sentence. We have the subject, the verb, the object, and then the complement is going to be a combination of a subordinating conjunction plus a sentence. If you want to use the technical word, this is a clause. This is a main clause. This is a subordinate clause, if you prefer. So all this is the key. So what do we know? When we have this configuration, we don't need commas. I took aspirin because I had a headache. So when I have that configuration, this is the complement of reason or cause, no comma needed. So far, so good?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. So, but if I want for some rhetorical reasons to give context, for some emphasis, there are several reasons. If I want to put this information at the beginning, what happens?
We need a comma.
We need a comma. So now we are going to have the Q here, which is the subordinating conjunction plus a sentence at the beginning, and we're going to need a comma. And then the rest of the sentence. Let's go. So I have because, well, I said that if I put it in initial position, it's more natural to say since. Since I had a headache, I took some aspirin. Well, let me put it in such a way that we can clearly see this is the subject, this is the verb, this is the object. Okay, and the theory. So whenever I change the complement to the initial position, I will need the comma. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, my board is very small, so I need to erase this. Can I?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, but the structure is going to be the same. Now we are going to have preposition. We are going to have only one sentence. But instead of a subordinating conjunction, now here, we are going to have a preposition. But after a preposition, we cannot have a sentence. That is the essential difference between prepositions and all the other connectors. So we have the complement now is a preposition plus a noun structure, not a sentence. So let's write the example. So, for example, I can say, I was tired, but I know that after a preposition, I cannot have a sentence. So I eliminate the subject. And what form of the verb is necessary after prepositions?
Gerald?
Gerund. So we need being tired. Okay? And in this configuration, no comma. Just like that. Okay?
Okay.
So if for some particular reason, as I said, emphasis, context, I don't know, depending on what the other person said before. So I want to move the complement to the initial position, I am going to need a comma. But this time the complement is formed with a preposition plus a noun structure. So the sentence would be, despite being tired, comma, I could work. And the intonation is different. So the intonation here is, I kept working despite being tired. And here, despite being tired, I kept working. So the intonation is very different from these two. And that is why I am so picky about your reading this correctly. It's not, I was tired, so I went to bed. No, I was tired, so I went to bed. I was tired, therefore I went to bed. So it has to be like that. Clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, thanks.
I hope so.
Wow.
So let's go back to our problem. So now go to the, well, let's see. I have too many things to work on. So I am very puzzled. Okay. So let's just try to understand this. So where was I here? These glasses don't work here. I need glasses. And I'm going to stop the video, otherwise this becomes too much. Okay. So, yep. So in the next exercise, in exercise 4, we have exactly the reverse of the problem that we had in exercise 3. If you observe, all these connectors belong in the family of contrast or concession. But, yet, although, though, nevertheless, meanwhile, however, despite. So now we are vertically all similar. They belong in the same family of meaning. But the decision is going to be made on the basis of grammar and punctuation. So observe this lovely comma. So what are the only possibilities here? Or what possibilities should we eliminate immediately? Just because of the punctuation.
Yet.
Yet. And
however.
And however. So now our dilemma is between the preposition and the subordinating conjunction because we recognize the structure. Now, read what you have here and decide which of the two options is correct.
Mira,
In spite of.
In spite of, exactly. Because we don't have a sentence. So we need in spite of. This looks like a conjugated verb, but it's not a verb, it's a past participle. Los efectos colaterales relacionados. No? It's not a conjugated verb, it's an adjective in plural, masculine when you translate it in Spanish. Okay, then number 2. This one is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so observe the punctuation, but observe 2 other interesting things. What is this and what is this?
another.
They are a verb. They are 2 parts of the verb, the auxiliary and the main verb. What are the only kind of words that can be in that position?
No.
What kind of words?
Preposition.
Prepositions. O sea, ustedes dicen, I have instead of gone to Six Flags. ¿Sí? ¿Se puede?
It's an adverb.
An adverb. Los únicos que pueden ir aquí son adverbios, porque está modificando un verbo. Entonces, automáticamente, ¿qué elimino?
Instead of. Nor.
Of,
Nor.
nor. Now, what do you think you can use?
Rather than.
Okay.
Rather than.
No, rather than is a preposition. Sorry to break your heart. So this one is the only one. The punctuation that I gave you on the board is the classical punctuation for a TOEFL exam. We are going to study that. In the case of conjunctive adverbs, more options are possible. And this one is in the middle of a verb, the only word that you can have is an adverb. Okay?
Okay.
Do you
Those
understand?
words, yeah,
Sorry?
those words were classified in the chart.
This is a conjunctive adverb. This is a preposition, and this is a preposition. Okay, we don't have these words in the chart. Okay, so let's classify them. All right. Okay, nor is one of the fun boys, remember, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so, fun boys. So the only one that we didn't have is nor. In which category would you put it?
Alternative.
No. Alternative
Contrast.
or
Condition.
No. Sorry? This is like algebra.
A confront? No.
No. It's the
Alternative.
addition of two negative things. No. Alternative is or. Nor is the addition of two negative things. And is the addition of two positive things. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Well, what was the other? We had instead. That was a conjunctive adverb of alternative here. Instead. We already had instead of. That is a preposition. But instead alone is an adverb. And what was the other?
Rather than.
Rather than, that is a preposition of alternative. So let's write it here. Oops, I'm erasing instead of writing. Rather than. And that was it? What was the other?
Instead.
Well, we had instead. No, well, we already had instead of. Okay, we already have everything. So we had instead of, both are prepositions of alternative. This is a coordinating conjunction, and instead of is a conjunctive adverb. Well, now observe number 3 and observe, as I have insisted, the punctuation. Automatically, which ones we eliminate just because of the punctuation?
Since.
Sorry?
Since.
Since and
Or
Because of.
because of. So the only ones that accept the comma for or comma so, these are these two. But now we know that for is for the effect. Sorry, for is for the cause, and so is for the effect. So you read the sentence and decide.
So.
So.
Okay. Is it clear? And I think that we only have we don't have because of here. We have because, but we don't have because of in the preposition. So we need to put it here. Because of. It's in the same column as because. Observe. But it's a preposition. Well, but and since should also be here as a preposition of a subordinating conjunction of cause, and we can also have since as a preposition of cause, and we can also have since as a preposition of time. All that is possible. So far, so good? Yes?
Yes. Could you keep your because I have to take a picture of the.
But you should be writing instead of
Yes,
taking-
but I was writing, but I'm missing something because I put in another order.
but this lesson is going to be recorded.
Okay.
Somebody is recording
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
It's going to be somewhere in your
Yes.
classroom, I guess. No? So don't worry that
Thank you.
Yeah. So you are going to have the material anyway. So let's go back to the exercise then. Now look at number 4. Look at the construction. We have a blank and we have a comma here. So automatically, which ones are impossible?
Furthermore, and
And
And what else?
moreover.
Pues sí, ¿no? O sea, todas, o sea, por pura gramática, sin haberlo leído, nomás por la estructura, yo ya sé cuál es la respuesta. Así funciona este ejercicio. Ahora verifiquen que sí se entiende, a ver si es cierto. Yes or no?
Yes.
Mhm. So this is the power of grammar. When you know the grammar, you can produce correct sentences. So, and we also recognize a gerund, and we know that prepositions accept gerunds. So there are several indicators. We know that because of the construction, and is not possible. Furthermore and moreover, and this are the same family, so it cannot be there. So the only option is apart from. So all these connectors are already in the chart, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, now number 5. Observe the construction of the sentence. Observe the position of this blank and observe that there is no comma here. There's nothing.
it's just one long sentence.
It's a very long sentence. It's just one sentence, yes. And there is no comma. So which words are impossible?
Or
Or what else?
Rather than.
¿Están adivinando o están conscientes de sus opciones? According to the position of this space and the lack of comma here,
I think that otherwise is not possible.
otherwise it's not possible because we know it requires a semicolon and a comma. What about the others?
maybe we need a preposition because business in the sentence.
Exactly.
Well, it is another sentence.
It's not a sentence, so we need a preposition. Good analysis. So of these two that we have, which is a preposition?
Rather than.
Rather than, because this one, para hacer preposición tendría que tener esto, pero no lo tiene. Entonces aquí en esto, rather than. ¿Ven qué bonito ejercicio? Que los obliga a pensar ahora en la gramática, y que la gramática avanzada, o sea, sí están trabajando sus neuronas, hasta acá se puede ver cómo sale el humo, ¿no? Es bueno, antes de un puente largo, que hagan bastante ejercicio cerebral. Okay, so I am going to give you the chance to write from 6 to 10 to finish the exercise. I'm going to give you back the control of your screens. and I'm going to form groups. I am going to leave the room as my other self to avoid the confusion of creating a group with myself. And now let's form the groups. Doo-doo-doo. So, how many are you? All right. So, 7 minutes, do you think will be enough?
Yes.
Well, good luck. May the force be with you.
Hi.
So I will share my screen. This one. So number 6. Comma.
Has to be a subordinating conjunction, maybe.
Sorry, what I couldn't hear you.
Maybe could be a subordinating conjunction.
Okay, we have a comma. So at it's a coordinating conjunction. Well, we don't need a comma with that. When? Oh, like when is a coordinating conjunction, as you said? No, subordinating conjunction.
Subordinating, because we have a comma, and in this case, if it was for example, a coordinating conjunction, we need the comma between two sentences, but the conjunction has to be in the middle. And in this case, we don't have the space there. And then a preposition needs to, well, it is not needed the comma. And what was the other option? And conjunctive adverb needs a semicolon.
Yes.
So it could be meanwhile.
Meanwhile?
No, sorry. When?
Yes, when it's a subordinating conjunction. So is clear? It is obviously no clear. When mandatory seat belt laws are observed.
Yes.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, next one.
Mm, that could be a coordinating sentence. Coordinating conjunction, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's in the middle of two sentences.
And also we have a comma.
Yes, and we have a comma.
So the only spot, no?
Yes.
Okay, next one.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
Okay, everybody's back, so let's check. Okay. Number 6, Excel.
I think that is when
Read
mandatory
the-
seatbelt.
Read.
Okay, when mandatory seatbelt laws are observed, the number of traffic-related deaths dramatically drops.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
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 Yeah, great. We have a comma here, we have a complete sentence here, so we need a subordinating conjunction. Very good. Number 7, Pauline.
Yes. Some psychologists have asserted that the left hemisphere of the brain controls logic and language, and the right controls creativity and intuition. But evidence shows that people use both hemispheres all the time.
All the time. But does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a very long and formal sentence, but we have a comma that we cannot use nevertheless. Okay? Good. Number 8. Hugo. Pero me dijiste que era since, ¿y por qué luego cuando la lees dice science? ¿Verdad? Es since, ¿no? Failing. Happens to other regions. And remember, the structure of this is such that we have the complement in initial position. So the intonation goes up to the comma, and then down. Since the traditional